Breaking news. Yo, check it out. We're going to ride out, right? Yo, Derrick Groves, one of the last remaining escapees from New Orleans, 5 months ago, has finally been captured in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to sit back, look at the disguises that he wore in order to try and elude capture. You see that where they said he was dressed like a female, short hair, whatever they call it, you know, the little bob and the braids. This is what they said Derrick Groves was out there using to try. Just pay attention to this so you see what's going on. And I hope you youngins know it's not worth it. Don't go out there, break the law, because we don't want to be reporting on you with nothing negative. Let's keep it moving. All right. You know what it is, Unique Mecca Hall, man. We here, Mecca Audio in the house. You know, make sure you cop the book of Raw in Harlem, too. It's right there on the bottom of the screen. Yo, check it out. We're going to play this. Derrick Groves has been captured. We're going to play the report. We're going to get right to it. Man, it ain't nothing nice, man.
Well, after some 5 months on the run, the last escapee from that New Orleans correctional facility, Derrick Groves, has been apprehended and is now in custody. Jonathan Sari following all of the breaking news from our bureau in Atlanta, where this all went down. Jonathan.
Hi there, John. This all happened this afternoon, just moments ago. There was a brief standoff outside a home in southwest Atlanta, and then authorities emerged with a man in custody. His hands appeared to be zip-tied behind his back. It appeared that he was cooperating with police and not resisting their arrest. It was a multi-agency response. A SWAT team surrounded the home, and now it appears that Groves is back in custody. He had turned 28 while he was on the run. He was the last inmate still on the run after the May 16 jailbreak, in which 10 inmates escaped from the Orleans Justice Center in New Orleans.
Now, look how they're going to spin this, right? So you understand. This is what's going to happen. Pay attention to this. I'm going to give you news that you ain't going to get nowhere else. They're going to spin this, that being that it was 10 of them that escaped. He's the last one to get caught. They needed to catch him, so they told the ones that got caught, if you help us catch him, you got his friend's number, family numbers, everybody's number, whatever you can find out to help us, and you tell us how y'all escaped. And we know that he was the mastermind. That's all you got to testify to. This young man has 2 bodies under his belt. He just got convicted and was waiting to be sentenced when he escaped. Now they're trying to say that he was the mastermind. He was doing it all on his own, and he had the other 9 go with him just as a bunch of, you know, dumb ducks following, you know, the quacker. You know, so you paying attention to this? So now everybody gets a deal to point the finger at him, and then when he comes in, then they're going to ask him to give up who was the one that was helping you, that these guys didn't give up, you know, and then what else do you know that they did that you're not telling us as a part of this, you know, break? And the role they played. You understand? Let's finish watching this.
Security cameras showed the inmates removing a toilet and escaping through a hole in the wall behind it, climbing barbed wire fences and crossing a busy highway during their escape. The inmates left behind the words scrawled on the wall, "Too easy." Authorities charged 14 people, some of them relatives of the inmates, for allegedly assisting in their escape.
Now, pay attention to that. You heard family members and people close to them was arrested and charged with aiding and facilitating their escape. Anyone that was in contact with Derrick Groves while he was on the run, whatever cell phone they get, any numbers in there, they're coming for you. Just so you understand that you heard it here first in Unique Mecca Audio. If you call whatever cell phone, and we know he was using a cell phone, everybody uses a cell phone, right? If you call any cell phone that was in that house, whether it was his or someone else in the house, they're coming to get you. All right? It's a wrap. Just sit back, pay attention. But remember, Anybody that aid and assist someone that's on the run, that's called a fugitive, you will be charged and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. So don't break the law, so you don't have to go out there, go on the run, and then have your family member aid and assist you. All right? You see how we killed it right at the root? All right, let's keep it moving. Because what we doing? We riding.
Convicted of 2 counts of second-degree murder, Groves was in jail awaiting formal sentencing with an expected penalty of 2 life sentences with no chance of parole.
So what has he got to lose?
While he was on the run, authorities had offered a $50,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. That arrest finally happening right here in the city of Atlanta. John?
See, now we're going to tell you what happened, right? So what happened is they had the Crime Stoppers out. While the Crime Stoppers was out, they got the number they called in. They told him they're going to give him 50 grand for anybody that could lead to his apprehension and conviction is what they're going to try and say at first. Then the longer it goes, then they back away from the conviction and just say for his apprehension. So, you know, that's how we do that, right? So now, you know, Derrick Groves has been captured, you know, and like I said, you know, anyone that assists them, they're going to bag them. Anyone that's in their cell phones, they're going to bag them. Crime Stoppers was in effect. With Crime Stoppers in effect, what did they do? They called in, now they want their 50 grand, and that's how they get you. So don't put your neighbors in the situation to have to call Crime Stoppers by just not breaking the law. Can't say it no plainer than that. Let's keep it moving, because what we doing, we riding. All right?
You know, Jonathan, you think about how many lives were at risk with him being at large as long as he was. Remember, most of the inmates were caught within a week of this escape happening. He's been at large now for 5 months. The Orleans Parish District Attorney's Office described him as a cold-blooded killer. He's obviously got a history of violent crime. But I mean, 5 months on the run, a cold-blooded killer could have caused a lot of harm. So we're watching these pictures live out of Atlanta, and we obviously hope that this is what is happening, that he is captured.
All right, so let me explain that to you so you understand. You notice she kept saying cold-blooded killer. What could have happened while he was out there? How many people was, you know, in danger at large? What they're really getting at is now they get to solve unsolved crime. So whatever happened along the path that they said he traveled in, if it's a case that they can't solve, give it to Derrick Groves. Gunshots. See, y'all ain't even think of that. You see how you come here, Unique Mecca Audio, and get the real? You see how you come get the real? Did you hear what I just said? Any crime, let's say homicides, any homicide that happened during the course of the time while he was on the run along the path that he ran to get to Atlanta, wherever he crossed that line, and they could say that he crossed that line. If there's a homicide there and it's brutal or whatever and it's senseless and they ain't got no clues, it's yours, baby boy. That's what that statement was. Pay attention. Been there, done that. Served 26 years in federal prison. That's why I'm here now as your martyr, trying to save you from going down the road that I went down. All right? Oh, let me say this. Right? Hold on. I'm going to say that. Hold up.
Yeah, Louisiana authorities confirming that this is him, that this is Groves, the man that they took into custody here in Atlanta. But yes, after all of these months on the run, it just shows that he was highly capable in evading authorities and apparently getting some help during the process.
You hear that? Getting some help during the process. Anyone that assisted or helped him will be charged. So the court system is going to be full down in that area, and it's going to be a whole lot of money for a whole lot of people going to prison for a whole lot of beds. So don't be a person going to prison to go take up one of those beds. All right?
Yeah, I mean, it is 469 miles between New Orleans and
Right
Atlanta,
there.
so clearly.
Clearly, anything that happened within that 469 miles from New Orleans to Atlanta, any unsolved homicide, if they feel like giving it to him, Derrick Groves, you got it.
I don't think he just took the bus to Atlanta. It's
Why
possible
not?
that he had some help in getting there. This was a joint effort between Crime Stoppers, the United States Marshal Service, the FBI, Homeland Security Investigations, Louisiana State Police, the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, the New Orleans Police Department, and the Atlanta Police Department.
See, they all want what? Credit. All right? everybody want their name as a part of this because it goes on their resume. So don't break the law so you ain't got to have, their name on your indictment, your criminal sheet, to be able to get a promotion. All right? Just don't break the law.
It was believed that he was the ringleader and engineered this escape back in May.
See,
and
now
that
he's the
letting all the
ringleader.
other inmates out might have been intended
Listen
as
to this.
cover so that he could get away, that he could have done this by himself.
That means the rest is 9 times out of 10 already cooperating. Okay? Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? 9 out of the 10, if not 9 out of the 9, is already cooperating. Watch what I tell you.
But wanted all the other 9 out there to sort of run interference for him, blocking and tackling as he made his way much further away, because to the best of my knowledge, the other 9 inmates who were with him, Jonathan, got caught a lot closer to New Orleans than he did.
Yeah, it happened much more quickly. And so, at this point, it's still speculation, but the fact that he was on the run for the longest suggests that perhaps he knew what he was doing more than the other inmates.
Okay.
And certainly an organized escape, just looking at what they did and when they seized the opportunity, and also determined, scaling multiple barbed wire fences to get out. He definitely didn't want to stay there, and certainly facing 2 life sentences, Groves had nothing to lose.
Yo, so do you hear the words that are coming out of his mouth? That's why you come here to get this. Y'all at a gangster channel. Let's never forget that you're at a gangster channel. Check it out, right? He's sitting there, he's going through all this thing that they had to do, go through barbed wire. It was locked in. You try being locked behind barbed wire, know that you get ready to get life in prison, and you see a little daylight to find a crack to get up out that hole, to go out there and get a little sunlight, even if it's 5 months or 5 days, like some of those other captees. And don't forget, right, the other one, Antonio Massey, don't forget, he's the one was his father and Lil Wayne's father was, best friends growing up. And as they was growing up, they both got unalive, rest in peace to them. And they're gone, and then their sons went 2 different paths. Lil Wayne was picked up by Baby, and Antonio Massey was left out there to fend for himself. Now, everybody talk bad about Baby, right? And I'm going to say this. I don't care nothing about all this going on, but I'm just saying, you got to look at the good with the good, and there's always going to be bad with it. But Baby went and saved this young man, Lil Wayne. So for me to sit there and see Lil Wayne suing Baby for $50 million because Baby robbed him for $50 million, Lil Wayne, you could have chalked that up to the game because he done saved your life, because you could have been sitting there with Antonio Massey. See, y'all don't think of it like that. You know what I mean? You could have talked to him and told him you were going to talk up to the game and say, look, dog, we caught you. My lawyer said you did this. Man, just give me 20. Give me something, man. Come on. I appreciate everything you did for me, because I could have wound up like, one of the 10 that escaped from down there, but you saved me. I mean, it was ways to deal with that before it got there. Maybe they had that conversation. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I didn't like when I seen Lil Wayne suing, his elder, when his elder saved his life, especially after watching what his daddy's best friend, his partner, son is going through, and where he could have wound up. That's right in his face, whether he wanted to deal with it or not. Even Antonio Massey went to, trying to make a plea to Lil Wayne. You know what I mean? Like, yo, dog, I think he was there, he was the ring bearer at his mama's wedding or something like that. Rabbit, I think was his father's name. Man, I watch all this, and this is real, man, because that's the era that I ran in. So I understand the loyalty and the mindset of back then and how the fathers were. And then this is what the war on drugs produced, where the father is taking out the household, and now the mother have to raise that child on her own. And they both started from the same place after the father died, and then here they go down. One went on to be a rapper, big multi-platinum star. Round of applause to Lil Wayne. All right, relax, y'all, relax, I said, man, relax. Right, so then you have this young man here, Antonio Massey, right? Now, he wound up going through all this. I mean, come on, dog. Do you understand the picture that I'm painting? Let's keep this moving.
Well, we hope to get reaction from the Louisiana governor's office, as we had the governor on this program many times after these inmates escaped, and they vowed to find every last one of them, and it looks like they have. So we hope to get a statement and possibly the governor here soon. Just remarkable to see somebody who has been on the run that long now captured and arrested. But we'll keep seeing what comes from this. And I guess, Jonathan, in the hours and days that come, we will learn if there was anybody assisting him to be on the run as long as he would. Final thought from you, Jonathan?
Yeah, just that they already have arrested 14 people that they believe were involved in this escape. It'll be interesting as a result of this arrest if it leads to even more charges against additional people. Arrested 14 people that they believe were involved in this escape. It'll be interesting as a result of this arrest if it leads to even more charges against additional people.
There you go.
All right, so that's why I wanted to stop at my bag on that, right? But y'all understand what's going on. This is real serious, man. When I tell y'all these stories, it's not to glorify, glamorize it, or none of that. It's just to let you know it's not worth it. There is Antonio Massey on the screen. His father and Lil Wayne father ran together. Both of the fathers got killed. Antonio Massey wound up in prison for whatever he's in prison for, going through all this that he's going through, where he had to escape from jail, and Lil Wayne ran with Baby for those years that the son, Antonio Massey, was trying to find his way. Just to show you how you could see two parallel lines, like I said, of the war on drugs when the father is taken out of the household. And that's why we need to be there with our siblings and our children and our family, by not breaking the law, not putting ourselves in that situation. And now Derrick Groves, look at it. They said that this young man, you know, was wearing disguises, wigs, and things like that. Oh, subscribe to Real Boss TTTV and Juanita Mecca Audio and Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories. You want to hear the prison stories, right? But, you know, make sure you hit that like button as well. But look at him, though. They said that he did all of this in order to elude caption. Would you have recognized him walking down the street in any one of these female disguises? He looked like he even had makeup on one. I mean, yo, this is how real it is, that when you want to run, you want to run. Put it in the comments. What would you do if you was him? You know, would you put on the makeup? Would you be on the run? You know, put it in the comments, all right? And there go the number right there you want to call, you all right? Now, put it in the comments. But y'all tell me what's going on with that. Been on here long enough. I'm out of here. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio.